signature award. You already know what it is. You know, in spirit of a guy, we had to break the rules on this. Like the Jeff Jarrett Finesser of the Year award. This is the wrestler who took advantage of their situations to get the most out of them, worked their way into big spots, who was the swiftest business person. And Jarrett already had we have a rule. We don't let people that have the award named after them usually into the ballot this year. But Jeff Jarrett, first guy on the list, we had to break the rule. He had to be nominated this year. So Jeff Jarrett appeared in like 5 promotions this year: GCW, WWE, NWA, AAA, AEW, getting money from everywhere. The podcast, the SummerSlam weekend where he's doing the referee job, and then he headlines against Ric Flair in his last match, then shows up in AEW. God tier level hustling and finessing and everything like that. Like, I can't believe like this man Double J does it again. I always felt like he was going to end up running WWE one day. This man works himself into having like an office job in AEW. Like once the Triple H regime comes in, you think he's gone. He's always right around the corner, ready to strike, and with a guitar, holding people, hitting them in the head. Like, and I think my favorite part of Jeff Jarrett's year was that he beat all them suckers and jabronis and never will be's in GCW and never gave them wins back. Like a real worker. Shout out to Double J. And then number 2. KG Muto / the Great Muta. This is really a 2-person category here. This is Jarrett versus Muto. Who you got? Like, and this, you talk about somebody being a finesser. This guy Muto got that Wrestle Kingdom Night 3 main event, got to drop all them championships and not do jobs. Man showed up in AEW. This man got AEW sending people to him for his last match. He's got WWE working with him, sending him Shinsuke Nakamura. He's going into New Japan and wrestling. He's just part of this huge like political faction in Noah with the Booker, and just if there's a payday to get, Muto can get it. I don't know if KG Muto and Jeff Jarrett have ever wrestled a match against each other, but like, I need to find that footage and watch it. If it exists, please let me know. Yes, I feel like, yes, he is a full threat to be in the Royal Rumble next year. Yes, we got to talk about that Kaito Kiyomiya thing, bro. When he tapped out to Kaito Kiyomiya, he didn't even tap out. He just kind of looked at the ref and pointed or something like that. This guy immediately rolls out the ring. This man looked like he had just finished sex. He didn't look like he was finishing any kind of struggle or anything. Kaito Kiyomiya has to like run and beg him for like the endorsement. He just like shook his hand and just kept it moving. Like, it was just, bro, like, this guy Muto is like, and we don't even know if he's going to retire. He might be on this list again next year. Like, he's marketed all this under his last run. And the funniest shit is, it's like, this is the Great Muta's last match in New Japan. This is the Great Muta's last match in this company. This is Keiji Muto's last match in this arena, and all these like weird qualifiers that they have. It's funny, Muto's qualifiers kind of sound like those randomized ESPN stats. They'd be like, yeah, this is the first time in 75 years that a pitcher on Tuesday is, pitched 155 miles an hour like 98 miles an hour and giving up a single to a right fielder or something like that. Like, that's what it sounds like all Muto's doing with all these retirements and finesse jobs. He's still pulling more money out of Noah, his final quote-unquote show in February, but we know how Muto gets down. This could keep going. So this is the Muto and Jarrett sprint. I'm going to mention everybody else, but it's fucking Muto and fucking Jarrett. One of those two just have worked his business, finessed, conned, all that shit. Can't not hustle. Number 3, Carl Anderson. You talk about a younger generation of finessing. It's Carl Anderson. all the friends in the best places, friends in every company to keep getting them checks. Got WWE to rehire them. Yeah, I'm holding a New Japan belt. Don't need to drop it. Why would I do that? Why don't we just work something out to where I go back for Wrestle Kingdom and a couple more times and not try, so I can stay nice and healthy for these WWE house shows? So after that, we got Bray Wyatt. He's done all this, commanded all this money. They played that White Rabbit song for months and months, and it's led to no wrestling. I admire the hustle. And all he has to do is just put out some bullshit or QR codes, and just people just go nuts. Like, maybe everybody else is doing it wrong. Maybe Bray Wyatt is doing it correct. Number 5, Mandy Rose. Mandy Rose was the champion of a show on national television for all year, and used that platform to launch a fan site where she's going to become a millionaire off of that fan site inside the same year. What else needs to be said? They fired her and they said, it's either us or the fan site. And she said, fuck you. You know why? Because the job was already done. The platform already existed, and all they were going to do was give her more to spin, the coverage into, whatever she's, putting on her content site. And it's very telling. All those years that she's worked for WWE, this is what got her $500,000. This is what got her $1 million. So it makes you ask, what were they not paying her in WWE? Number 6, Brock Lesnar. If he's gone, I'm gone. Please back up the brink truck to bring me back. Oh, you did? Thank you. Number 7, Triple H. Somebody had to benefit from Vince going down. Why not the game? Triple H has got to. He literally got the easiest job that has ever been given in pro wrestling. We're not talking about someone investing in your company and then you got to run it from the scratch. You don't have to do that. I used to think Triple H has the easiest job in NXT before this, where you have no responsibility to make money and you just sign the next hottest guy off the street. I thought that was pretty easy, right? But you get the biggest, most successful wrestling company of all time that has had 40 years of leadership from the same person who crashed and burned for a decade at a time. And what he did to walk in there was, I just step into this job, and everyone just, if I mention the word wrestling, like the bar is so low for what he did. And with Vince going down and the shady aspects of that, it could be Triple H that set him up. If we ever find out that's the case, I think that makes him a great candidate for finessing his way into the chair in WWE after being gone. Number 8, Rossi Ogawa. Rossi Ogawa is definitely a Finesser of the Year candidate if we ever find out, or we kind of did find out, that he convinced Bushiroad to foot the bill for Sasha Banks to not use the Stardom budget and then end up getting dates on her for that. He basically balked at Sasha and was like, nah, that price is way too high, don't really work for us. But then Kadani hits him up like, yeah, Rossi, we got this. So especially if we see what it leads to possibly with Mercedes, yes, it's definitely finessing because he didn't have to use his budget to do it like Bushiroad did. So that's our Finesser of the Year award category. Jarrett versus Muto, be there. So after that,